Hi everyone, Mr. Brandt here. Welcome to Virtual Art Learning. I am the art teacher at Westfield Elementary. Some of you know me. Some of you, this may be the first time you're meeting me. I am going to be one of many art teachers from the district that will be doing virtual art lessons for you. One of the things that I want to talk to you about is, you're going to get these lessons and you're going to get them from your virtual teacher. And I hope that you really try your best and do your best work that you can. One of the things I want you to realize is everybody's different when it comes to art. And I just absolutely love seeing how you take a lesson maybe that we've done with you, and I see all the different creative, wonderful ideas that you guys have come up with as we are giving a certain lesson. So I want you to realize, I don't want you to make one that's just like mine or just like Mrs. Havlicek's or some of the other art teachers that you'll be meeting throughout your virtual art learning. But I want you to take some of our ideas and take some of our skills that we're showing you and how to do things and kind of make it your own. So we're excited to see what you guys come up with. The other thing, one thing I'll tell you is I will be looking once in a while off to the side because I need to look at my computer screen to make these videos for you. Or you might get a video some weeks, you might get just a sheet that tells you what we want you to do. There's all kinds of different ways that we're going to give you assignments for our virtual art learning. One of the things that I want to tell you about, if you have a video, don't feel pressure. If you're working and one of us is going too fast, pause it. You have all the time. You're at home doing it, so you can look at it and stop something or go back and say, what did he say? That's okay. All right. So you're on your time and you can kind of do that as you go. Supplies. I want to talk about supplies because Mr. Bryant might give you a suggestion saying, oh, you could do this with marker or crayon or watercolor paint, whatever. If you don't have that material, that's okay. So if I say, let's do this with marker, and you don't have markers, that's okay if you use crayons or watercolor paint or whatever you have at home. Or maybe you just do the drawing, okay? So do not feel bad about that. You can use anything that you have at your house. Most things that I will be showing you will be on just regular typing paper, 8.5 by 11 typing paper. You definitely need a pencil so that you can work, and I'll show you. And it's nice. A lot of my projects that I'll show you and some of the other teachers will say, if you want to make it more bold, to use some kind of black pen, like a Sharpie or a black color pencil or a black crayon or a black marker, something like that. Okay, but if you don't have those, that's okay. You can always just take your pencil and make it darker if we ask you to do that. So we're really excited to have this opportunity to work with you guys, and I hope to see some of your work and that you share some of your work with your virtual teacher, because our first lesson that I'm going to show you is a fun lesson I love. It has to do with cartooning, but it also gives your teacher a chance to learn something about you, okay? So if you're ready, we're going to switch over so you can see my drawing, and we're going to get started. So here we go. All right. As you can see, I have a sheet of paper here, and it is ready to go. It's an 8.5 by 11. I have a Sharpie, I have a pencil, but Sharpie's not that big a deal right now. What we want is just our pencil and our paper to start today. So we're going to turn our paper vertical, and we're going to start with some lettering, okay? So about 1/4 of the way up, I want you to just draw a nice line that goes across. And if you notice, my line is not perfect, and that's okay. My line, it might slant up, it might slant down. That's all right. That just gives it a different look, okay? But I wanted this area because what I want you to do is take your first name, and in kind of capital letters, I want you to print as lightly as you can. Print your name, okay? And I'm going to use my son's name, Jordan. So I'm going to very lightly print in capital letters. And why does Mr. Brandt use capital? Well, it's just sometimes easier to block letter with capital. Okay? And why we're printing it so lightly is because we want it to fit. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've done this a lot. I start block lettering because I go, I know how to block letter. And I start block lettering across, and then I run out of room. And I have to erase the whole block lettering. So if you print very lightly like this, that's going to help you a lot. Now, I want to do like what your mom and dad, maybe your brother, older brother and sister do when they're driving a car. They don't want to crash into anything. They want to drive around on the road safely. Well, we want to draw around our letters safely. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to come up and around. And you're going to notice Mr. Brandt's drawing dark. Well, that's because I want you to be able to see it. Okay? I would draw lightly if I were you, because if you make a mistake you don't like, you can erase it. Now I'm going to go in and erase the little printed letter. And it looks like I just did my block lettering right there. And then I'm going to go to the O. Now the O has an inside. There's a lot of letters, and I'm going to show you an alphabet here in a minute. And then I'm going to go inside. The smaller I make the inside makes my letter thicker so I can put more color in it. Now I'm going to go to the R, and I'm driving. This one's a little trickier, but this also has an inside right here. Then I'm going to go to the D, and it's okay if they overlap, and I'll even show you that. It's okay, you make them fancy too. So if I have an A here and I want to make it thicker, and I come down and I hit the D, whoops, I can just jump over and continue that off. Or what if I want to make my A a little fancier at the bottom? So I can add that little tail there to make it fancier. Okay? Now I'm going to do my N to finish off. And there's my letters. Now I'm going to go in and erase all the little lines that I did at the very beginning, and you won't see any of that. Now, this is a place where I said if you want to pause, because if you're not sure how to do one of the letters in your name, this is a place where you could pause, and as you're doing the letters, you can look at this to kind of see, well, how would I draw around an H, or how would I draw around a J or a K? Another thing, remember, you can make some of the ends be a little fancier, curl it around, do whatever you want. That's why I'm just showing you a simple way, and then you can be creative and go off with that. So if you want to pause, look at these. If you're not, we'll just keep going. All right, back to the drawing. Now, if you've done your name in block letters and you've erased the inside, now I'm not going to erase the inside right now, but you can see, I want you to take from the line to the top of your paper, and I want you to find about the middle. And this is going to be a cartoon of you. So I'm going to draw just a very simple, fun cartoon nose, just an oval nose. All right. Once you get that oval nose, we're going to go from one side. We're going to do a little curved line here and a little curved line here, just like that. This is going to start our cartoon eyes. And again, there are so many ways to draw eyes and noses and mouths and all that. I'm just showing you one way so that we can start this project and get it going. But when you go, you might want to do this again and say, oh, I'm going to try a different type of eyes, or I'm going to try a different. That's awesome. Now I'm going to go to the middle top of the nose, and I'm going to draw a nice oval that comes up and around, but I'm not going to go quite to the end there. I'm just going to stop. And then I go to the other side, and I'm going to come up and around, and I'm going to stop right about there. And look, even my eyes are not exactly the same size. That's okay. That's what makes these cartoons kind of fun. Now, inside here, I'm going to draw a nice pupil, the black part of the eye, just like that in both. Now, I'm not going to color it in yet because I'm just going through the drawing steps with you. And when you have a chance, you can take all the time you need to color. And then right up here in the upper right of the pupil, I'm going to put a little highlight. That's where the light reflects off your eyes. And then I like to do another little small one down here, because if you've ever noticed in your eyes, you might have more than one reflection. Now, when we start to color, you don't need to do this right now, but I'm just showing you. This is the pupil part, the black part of your eye, which you'll color in, okay? Next, we're going to go above, and we're going to make, I think they always look like little beans or jelly beans or bananas, but I just want you to make kind of a fun little eyebrow above each eye, okay? Now, one other thing that I didn't draw yet, which you can add, you don't have to add, but above your pupil, if we do an eyelid that comes across, especially if you want to do eyelashes later, that's a great thing to draw. You don't have to draw the eyelid. Now, after that, we're going to go under the nose, and we're going to draw just a nice little smile like this. And I always call these little cheek lines, little creases for your smile. Now, some people might want to just leave their mouth closed, but we're going to open it for this one. So if you left it closed, you just draw a little lip line here, and you could leave it closed. But we're going to do a little U shape that comes down and comes back up to the mouth like so. After that, we're going to go in here and we're going to do two little bump lines like that for a tongue. Now, we could add some teeth and things, but right now we're just going to keep with this, and you can add those kind of details later if you want. Next, we're going to go under the mouth, down a little bit, and we're going to draw a little chin like that. Okay, now some people do it lower and higher, whatever you want to do. Now, and again, remember, if Mr. Brandt's going too fast, just pause it till you get the step done and then continue. Outside of the eyes, I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to come down. And when I get about here, I'm going to curve it in and go to the chin. And I'm going to do that on this side too. And you can make your face as wide as you want, as thin as you want, however you want to do that. Okay? Now, we're going to go, even if you have long hair or short hair, it doesn't matter. We're going to go and do some ears. And it could just be like a letter C, or you can do it kind of like a question mark. Kind of looks like a question mark, and curve it in on both sides. And you can do any shape of ears you want. Remember, this is a cartoon, so it's not a realistic portrait. It's more of a fun portrait of yourself. Then inside the ears, I always like to draw this little crease that comes in and around just like that. And then right here, I do a bump and a little curve for the earlobe. Okay, so it kind of looks like a number 2, and then like a backwards number 2. All right. After that, we're going to go down here and we're going to do 2 little lines for a little cartoon neck. Once we've done that, we're going to connect it with a curved line like so. And then I always like to put like a little t-shirt collar on, and that means I'm going to go from this corner up a little bit, come around underneath and back to this side. And it just looks like the little t-shirt collar that you have on your t-shirt. Now, we're going to go from here. We're just going to go down and to the corner, or down to the line and down to the line. One of the things I'm going to tell you, if I make a mistake and say something, and instead of stopping the video and redoing it, you know what? Art teachers make mistakes too. So just laugh with me and we'll keep moving on. Now, right here, I like to we can just make a little line for where the arms go. And you know what? One thing that's really cool is if your head is smaller and you have more room down here, draw more of the shirt. Some people, when they've drawn this with me, they have so much room, they draw a little body down there. And you can absolutely do this. Make it your own that way. Now, Mr. Brandt did this for a reason. We haven't done the hair. Everybody's hair is so different. And so what I want to do is just show you how you can do hair. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways, especially if you have long hair. But let's say you have short hair. What you're going to do is we want to go up and draw the forehead first, Now, Mr. Brandt can't show you here because of my hairdo, but what you want is you have a little forehead. So let's say you have short hair, and this could be boys or girls, doesn't matter. We're going to start here. We're going to come up, and then I'm just going to draw. I don't want to just draw it straight. I want to draw it kind of around like this. Now, you might want to wait for a little bit and watch what I'm going to show you for like hair before you just jump in and draw your hair, because then you can go back and do it how you want. Now, after I've drawn the forehead, here's the forehead and the sides of the hair. I'm going to start on the ear, and I'm going to come up and around, and maybe I have a couple of hairs sticking up here, a couple of hairs sticking up here, and there we go. And now we have some kind of short hair. Now, a great way to do it, if you're not sure, go look in the mirror and see what your forehead line looks like, what the top of your hair looks like. Now, I'm going to move over to here because I want to show you this. If you have long hair, and let's say you could start at the ear and just come up and come back down. And I know when you look at that, it looks like he has a pointed head. Well, that's not going to be. For people with long hair, I just go above that point and I just come down to like the ear and down to the shoulders. And so if you have long hair and you want to have it just parted and down, that's a way you could do it. If you want to have like a ponytail or pigtails, I start here, I go up, over, and down. And I know that looks like we're drawing short hair, but we're not. Then I start on the ear and I come up and around to the other ear. And I know again it looks like short hair, but now I can put a little scrunchie or whatever you call those, because obviously I don't use them. And then I can do one ponytail off to the side, or I can add another one over here and do pigtails, anything like that. These are just a few ways. If you have short hair, maybe I come up and I go across and I come down, and maybe I have more spiky hair, so I want to kind of draw spiky hair up here. You can have some fun with what your hairstyle is and create what you want. All right. Now, there are so many other ways to do the hair. I'm going to leave that up to you because we all have different hairstyles, and you can do it how you think your hair looks on that day. And so if, let's say right now, if you have long hair and it's down, but you want to draw it in pigtails, go ahead, as long as you can do that. I would just ask that I would like you to draw a hair that is actually like you, because I want you to share this with your virtual teacher, and they want to kind of see, you know, what hairstyle, what your name is, and some other things that we're going to do. Okay? Now, once you get the head drawn in, your cartoon face, you can add some details. So let's say, and I know this is my son, so he probably won't like that. Don't tell him how I'm going to do this. But let's say we wanted to draw in, because our ears are pierced, we could draw in earrings. Don't tell him I drew this on him, okay? Now, another thing, if you drew eyelids and you want to draw eyelashes, the eyelashes are going to kind of go away from the nose on that eyelid line, just like so. Okay? Maybe you have a bow. Maybe you like to wear a bow or a ribbon, something like that. Again, don't tell my son. Maybe you want to draw a favorite necklace that you wear or something like that. All those things you can add now. You can pause and add any kind of details. And then the last thing that I want you to do is in the background. Even if you drew your head big and you don't have a lot of room, it's okay. I want you to draw at least 4 things. Or you can write words. You can do whatever you want to explain things that you love. Okay? So let's say, I know my son loves basketball. So maybe in the background, I'm going to draw just a basketball back there. Or maybe I write or draw a basketball and then I write his favorite team or your favorite team you would write on there. Maybe I would write or draw his favorite food or his favorite, what kind of things could we do? Maybe a favorite activity he likes, like if he likes soccer or he likes to draw or whatever you like, math, all of those things. I want you to draw in this background as many things as you can draw that tell something about you, because I want you to some way maybe have your parents take a picture and email it to your virtual teacher, whatever you can do, just to kind of show them. Okay, so there's our drawing, and I hope that you enjoyed what we did. Now, a couple things. You can use whatever you have at home to put color in, and I'm going to show you again. Whoops, you guys see right there. You see right there, I didn't have my phone off, but you know what? That happens. And so we'll just keep going. Now, once you get it drawn, we are going to, if you want, you can outline it. And when I talk about outlining, I'm talking about with whatever black pen, whatever thing that you have, you can just outline it, and it just makes it stand out more. Or like your pupils, if you want them to be black, we're going to do that. Okay, just like so. And then we have that. And you can outline the whole thing and then put your color in. And what I'm going to do is kind of switch over, because I did both my daughter and my son. And you can see I did my daughter, my son, and some things that they liked when they were little. But you can see I just put color in. I made it colorful. I put a lot of different things that they like back there. My son likes pizza. He loves puppies, all of that. And so I want you to make yours your own and put things about you. Okay? So, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the first lesson. I hope that you take your time and do it to the best that you can, and use whatever kind of supplies you have, and maybe share this with your virtual teacher. I think they would love to see it. And I hope you are ready for each week and you do your personal best. That's all I ever ask, is that you do your personal best. And I hope you have an outstanding first week. And remember, art is essential, and I hope you take some time every day to do a little bit of art. Okay? Until I see you again, have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.